This is kind of crazy. This one is kind of crazy. When you get Sophie Cunningham to sign a Jacy Sheldon rookie card with property of, that is crazy.
Sophie Cunningham owned Jacy Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. She still owns Jacy. She still owns Jacy Sheldon. And what's great is she's got a great sense of humor about it, and she's not shy about it. I mean, what are they going to do?
Payback for what was happening the entire game. But she did it in a way that she wasn't gonna injure Jacy. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't gonna handle it, I will handle it. We'll take care of it, but this is not what you're going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down. But with that, you guys, Jacy Sheldon got up and she was ready to go. So as you guys can see in this video, a whole scuffle breaks out. Sophie and Jacy are going after it. Both teams are running over, trying to break it up. It kind of goes into the fan section a little bit.
She's got all the aura right now, all of it. Got the podcast, and a damn good one. I mean, when's the next podcast drop? News is getting slow. There's got to be at least 3 or 4 good things in every Sophie Cunningham podcast. God, I wish we had more teammates, or I wish more teammates of Caitlin Clark would get this fired up when their transcendent superstar, who's now hurt and has missed half the games this year, has been the target, that some of the other players would get a little bit aggressive on behalf of Caitlin Clark. Get in between something. You never, this is in the NBA. Every team in hockey, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, I mean, these transcendent stars, it's always the goon, the enforcer. In this case, Sophie Cunningham, I mean, normally these guys, they're not really putting up numbers. The difference here is Sophie Cunningham is a real basketball player and a hell of a good one.
What happens when the WNBA's most polarizing star gets a black belt bodyguard? That's the question on every fan's mind after Sophie Cunningham turned a routine autograph session into a viral declaration of war. With a single Sharpie stroke, she didn't just sign a rookie card, she staked her claim, property of Sophie Cunningham. And just like that, the Indiana Fever's enforcer became the talk of the league. This isn't just about a joke or a meme, it's about a moment that exposed the WNBA's biggest problem, the player who's not afraid to fix it. It all started with a foul and a message. On June 17, 2025, the Indiana Fever faced the Connecticut Sun in a game that quickly turned physical. Jacy Sheldon, player already known for her aggressive play against Caitlin Clark, delivered another questionable hit. But this time, Sophie Cunningham wasn't having it. The veteran guard, known for her sharp shooting and sharper tongue, responded with a hard foul that sparked a full-blown brawl. The refs, who had been criticized all season for failing to protect Clark, ejected Sophie, but the real story was just beginning. It was a build-up for a couple years now of them just not protecting the star player of the WNBA, Sophie later said. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And protect she did, even if it meant taking the fall for her team. Fox News. Meet Black Belt Barbie, the enforcer Caitlin Clark didn't know she needed.
Sophie commits a hard foul on Jacy Sheldon. Again, as Jacy Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm gonna give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional.
See, she's the problem. She is the problem.
Sophie takes the card, grabs the pen, and writes across the front, "Property of Sophie Cunningham." That's not a scribble. That's a declaration. That's, "You want to press our star? Cool. Here's the bill." It's also a memo to the rest of the league. There's an
Sophie Cunningham isn't just any teammate. She's a former Taekwondo black belt, a sharpshooter, and a player who spent 6 seasons in the league, earning a reputation for toughness. But it was her move to Indiana that turned her into a folk hero. Fans and analysts had joked about the Fever needing an enforcer for Clark. No one expected Sophie to take the role so literally, or so memorably. FoxNews.com+3. Sophie didn't just defend Clark, she claimed her rival. At a fan event after the game, a supporter handed her Jacy Sheldon's rookie card. Instead of a standard signature, Sophie wrote 4 words that set the internet on fire. Property of Sophie Cunningham. The clip went viral instantly. Social media erupted, memes spread, and just like that, Sophie became more than a player, she became a symbol. Every superstar needs a Sophie Cunningham, one fan tweeted. Another called it the most iconic WNBA moment of the year. The autograph wasn't just a joke, it was a statement, and the league took notice. Times of India.indiatimes.com. The WNBA has a Clark problem, and Sophie's the solution. Since her rookie season, Caitlin Clark has been a target. Opposing players have delivered hard fouls, cheap shots, and even after the whistle shoves. The refs? They've been inconsistent at best. Sophie's public call-out of the officiating wasn't just about one game, it was about a pattern, and her willingness to stand up for her teammate, even at the cost of her own playing time, resonated with fans who've grown frustrated with the lack of protection for the league's brightest. She's not just an enforcer, she's a game changer. Since joining the Fever, Sophie has been on a tear. She's putting up career numbers, hitting clutch threes, and leading the team in more ways than one, but it's her fearless attitude that's won over Fever Nation.
Sophie Cunningham would take her rightful place as the Indiana Fever enforcer, and I believe took the first step to her becoming the second most popular player in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham is everywhere. Arby's, walking in. She's the best looking woman walking into these WNBA arenas. I mean, black belt Barbie, anybody? Black belt Barbie.
Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin Clark's biggest cheerleader and defender.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What? When people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as
The sad truth about this video we just watched is she is the first WNBA player I have seen to openly say this out loud, publicly, and not be ashamed in declaring.
And what do you guys think? Do you guys think this means anything? Like, obviously, when you get a Sophie Cunningham signed a Jacy Sheldon card, like, I think we should see that more in sports.
Sophie's the reason Clark can play without looking over her shoulder, one analyst said, and the stats back it up. Since the All-Star break, Sophie's been one of the Fever's most reliable scorers, proving she's more than just muscle. She's a key piece of Indiana's. The internet lost it.
Caitlin Clark is the reason we have been talking about the WNBA. Hate it or love it, it's true. I don't believe that Caitlin Clark necessarily wants that title that everyone has been giving to her. I think she just wants to be appreciated. And Sophie Cunningham, she just seems like such a real one, such a good friend. I think especially with women, especially elite level athletes, there's a lot of people, women, who will kind of stab you in the back. There's a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, especially when you're good. But Sophie just seems like such a girl's girl. I really, really like her. Maybe Caitlin Clark should do the next American Eagle campaign, or Sophie.
This is hilarious. It really is. Indiana Fever star takes humorous jab at Caitlin Clark villain. You gotta love an Iowa Hawkeyes wire headline. That's really good. That's Jacy Sheldon. Congratulations. That's all you're known as. The chick that was mean to Caitlin Clark. That's your legacy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you've been traded, and I don't think you're much of a basketball player. Sheldon, who was selected number 5 overall in the 2024 WNBA draft by the Dallas Wings, following 5 seasons at Ohio State, has quickly established herself a very negative opinion for both Hawkeye and Fever fans after her June 17 flagrant one on Clark and her eventually uncalled for knee to the right groin area during the July 15 clash in Boston as a member of the Connecticut Sun. By the way, can you stay with the team? You got selected by Dallas. You're already on your 3rd squad in 18 months. God,
I just think, and you know way better than me,
Yeah.
but like, it just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of.
They are, but I just hate that because like this is what we've always wanted as a league. So like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like you are literally making money from the viewership.
And why bully the person who is like not 100% responsible, but like has a huge role in growing your sport?
Dude, and it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
And so did the haters. Sophie's jersey sales skyrocketed, the black belt Barbie nickname stuck, and even neutral fans couldn't help but respect her willingness to stand up for her teammate. This is what the WNBA needs, one commentator said. Players who aren't afraid to set the tone. The moment became a cultural reset, a reminder that women's basketball isn't just about skill, it's about heart, grit, and a little bit of swagger times of India.indiatimes.com+4.
No, in the first half, the refs didn't call. Someone should have been thrown out, and the refs did not call it.
Correct. I remember that.
They didn't, and so I was like, all right,
She got full body
dude,
chested.
by 3 people.
Yeah.
Like 2 people, they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, if that was anyone else, I would have been booted out of the game. I know that for sure. I'm a little sassy, but like, so are they.
Your leash is shorter though, because they know.
Literally, I don't even have a leash. I just have a freaking collar and a hand on it. Anyway, so there was like 45 seconds left. The girl stole the ball and I was running back and I was like, we're up. I don't need to foul. And I was like, just let her go. And I was like, all right, like, who cares? Last second, intrusive thoughts. I was like, fuck it.
One of the biggest stars the WNBA's ever
Who's that?
had. Her name rhymes with Schmaitlin.
Kirtland?
Yeah. What has that been like, seeing her not only kind of transform a league, but also just be like,
No,
is that fair to say?
not even just the league, but like
The
women's
sport?
basketball as a whole around the world. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny because she's like 22, 23 years old and the whole world is watching her.
And you got tossed.
And it's 2-on-1. Yeah, I got tossed.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're good. But so in a situation like that, does Kaylin come up to you after and say like, because the internet whole thing was, look at fucking Sophie sticking up for Kaylin, like this is dope.
But I was.
No, I know you were.
But in the locker room, I think she was like, finally, you know, like finally someone else. I was like, dude, I got you. Like it's, but I think that kind of had our team come together as a whole. And it's like, no, we gotta have like, it was
awesome.
Yeah, no, it really was though. Like, I feel like everyone was like, you know, like we do have to protect each other.
This isn't just about one foul, it's about respect. Sophie's actions have sparked a conversation about how stars are treated in the WNBA. The league has a history of letting physical play go unchecked, especially against its biggest names. But with Sophie on the floor, opponents think twice, and that's good for the game. Sophie Cunningham didn't just stand up for her teammate, she stood up for the game. One sports writer put it, and in doing so, she's changed the way the WNBA does business. FoxNews.com+4. Sophie Cunningham didn't just stand up for her teammate, she stood up for the game. Her viral moment was more than a joke, it was a wake-up call for the Fever, for the league, and for every player who's ever been targeted for being too good.